Hello, welcome to Trickle Down Geekonomics, another fantastic unboxing for you. Today, we're going to unbox Warhammer Underworld's BeastGrave, the latest addition in the Underworld's chain of the ultimate competitive miniatures games. All right, turn this around and take a look at what we can expect to find in there. And then, in addition to that, because you can never have enough dice, we also have a special set of dice. These are actually Skaith's Wild Hunt dice pack, because cool.
Nice.
Don't judge me. So, here we go. We got to open it up. It's still in its package. Please give me the utensil. Thank you. Alrighty then. Right about there. Just like that.
Nice.
And then right like that. Never cut towards you.
Yes.
Always cut away towards your partner. All right. I'm going to get the plastic off of there. All right, let's see what's in here. Oh, we got to get rid of that. Okay.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
It is. It looks like it's, of course, it's a standalone beginner set. So I've never played any of the Underworld's games. He has. You have what? The first one, right?
Yeah, the very first one.
So
It's right on the shelf back there, right there. See, Shadespire.
The Shadespire, and we don't have a copy of the intermediate one. The
Night.
one that, what was it? Night Vault.
Night Vault.
Right. So this is my first foray into this world. Oh, look at that.
Nice.
So here are our template tokens, I guess, which look beautiful, and then at least one of the maps, if not, it's a double-sided map board, I think. So
Yes.
it's probably the maps right there. And then there's the rule book. Also, wow, that's a substantial rule book. It looks like it must also be the assembly guide
Yeah, on the back. Yep.
for the figures. And then here's the toys. We've got a sprue right there of what appears to be, I'm not sure what these guys are. Being a novice to all of this, these look like some sort of beastie monsters. And then another group of, ooh, there's a nice big axe-wielding maniac. You can't have enough axe-wielding maniacs. Well, looking at this real quick, though, I mean, this is very fine detail on plastic assembly. And it's going to be very.
Nice.
That bow is beautiful. He's got the string in it, which you don't usually see, because he's also got an arrow nocked. That's going to be one of those. Be careful with cutting it off the sprue so you don't break it. But it also looks like, is that not a? That's his head, right?
Yeah. Oh, he's got an arrow.
So he's got an arrow in his mouth, which is really cool.
Get ready for the next shot.
Exactly. I like that. And then it looks like we have a little baggie, as they are currently want to do with the Warhammer line of stuff, is they give you a bunch of little baggies to put all your tokens and stuff in. And then here is some of the decks that go with this game. Obviously, we'll open these up and take a closer look at everything here in a minute. So for right now, just do the quick run through of what we've unpacked out of this box. And then the standard dice, to which these, of course, see, now look at that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. Black and white and turquoise.
Partial to that, yeah, turquoise. I think it's cool.
I actually like this fire orange. That's why I got it. Right. And I was assured that even though these are titled, of course, it really doesn't have anything to do with anything. Any set of special dice, of which they have many for this game, will work. It's just different colorations are given different names. And then there's this, which will adorn probably a box that I keep all the miniatures in at some point for this game. And that's it. That's all that's in this box. So this sprue is the Grashrock's Despoilers faction within this set, as you can see. I mean, some amazing detail here, right down to the bases. And I got to say, look at all the detail just on the bases. I hate detail on bases because it takes forever to paint. I hate it in a way that I love it because, of course, it ends up making the miniature look that much more beautiful. And it is going to be a time saver, because if you went and try and do all of this with your own, flocking and bits and pieces, it would take forever. But man, oh man, it's gonna be a night painting just these bases. But take a look at this guy right here. This is one of these beast dudes, one of the despoilers. He's an archer, obviously, but I love this little bit of detail. Not only does the bow look good, because the string is actually on the bow, he's got an arrow knocked in it, but he's got an arrow in his mouth ready to get off yet another shot. So I think that's just beautiful. All of this looks exquisite in terms of detail for the different figures that go into this particular faction, as does Skaith's faction. When these are sort of centaur guys, I think they might be sort of nicer. These guys, I think, I think the despoilers are more evil, perhaps. These are more nature inclined, at least from judging the book by its cover. But again, take a look at these bases. It's insane, the rich amount of detail that they've put into just the bases themselves, let alone the figures. So we have to get these all assembled up so that we can actually play with them. But that's some pretty nice miniatures for the game here. Here's the rule book. Are you rolling?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. So, there's the instructions for building our factions. Here is some more literature, promo literature. And then this looks like the quick guide to learning how to play, which shows you how to set up your battlefield, and then the quick start rules. So you can jump right into it, even if you had your own pre-painted already miniatures to play, rather than using the ones that came with this version of the game. I'm sure you could just proxy them in for a real quick, how do I play this game, which is how we're going to, or at least how I'm going to learn how to play it. Because if we wait for me to assemble these and paint them, we won't be playing this game until 2021. But then here's the full-blown rule book with all of its beautiful artwork and color. On the back is reference sheet, it looks like, on the quick play guide. Oh yeah, so here's a brief description of the two factions in this particular set. And of course, it's all compatible with all the previous editions. Let's see here if there's just... Yeah, so this is just more of the detail, specific phases within the game and things like that we'll go through. And actually, we'll probably put together a playthrough, a demo on how to play the game once we get everything assembled and ready to go. So here are tokens. Looks like we've got 3 sheets of tokens coming our way. They are different in some instances. So
Are those like mouths?
I think they're mouths. They're
Nice.
they're a little spiky. So on this side, it designates something. In this side, it looks like some sort of horrific monster mouth. That is probably part of the terrain of the game, is my guess. Is that the background of BeastGrave, of course, is you're in a mountain that's alive. Literally everything in it is trying to eat you or kill you in some way, shape, or form. So that would include, I think, these giant mouths that come with the game. All right.
Looks like everything punches out easy too.
Yeah, this is nice clean cuts on all these so far. Hardly any effort at all. which is nice. Right, and then of course I think your regular tokens for victory points, perhaps. Again, once we get into the game and learn how to play it, we'll know what the hell we're talking about. But right now, it looks pretty. And then this must be our game board, right? And it's two-sided, right? And as I recall from what little of this game I do know, is each player gets to pick one side to use, and the other player picks the other side. So it'd actually be like, could go like that, for example, with the starting areas designated with the different colored hexes and things like that. The nice, sturdy, right? This is going to last quite some time, I think, which is good. Get a lot of use out of it. And then let's look at these decks.
Kind of a baby knife.
It's the little version of the knife. This is probably slightly safer, nevertheless. Okay.
Baby knife.
Baby knife, knife, baby knife, knife. So, okay. So this is Grashrock's Despoilers deck. So let's take a look at some of those. These must be the actual characters, I guess, in the game, and then the various cards that will drive your deck as you play this particular army. Looking good. Again, covered in beautiful artwork. Oh, there you go. So the Tusk Staircase is an objective that you can try to hold, it looks like. Very cool. And then this is the Wild Hunt deck. So we've got Skaith's Wild Hunt. And the different members of that faction. Looking good. And then again, the many different cards that will go along there with that army, that faction's deck. And then this is the extra cards one that says don't open it until you've played a few games. But you know what? I do whatever I want. Nobody tells me what to do.
They just don't want you to mix them in yet.
Right.
Because they're more advanced.
So these are, yeah, exactly, to make the game a little tougher on both sides, I assume, right? It's not extra units, it's just extra things that can affect the two different decks.
Right.
And you can see the faction call-outs are right there. Whoops. Right there. And then, I thought there was a different one. Yeah, right there. So very cool. So even within the context of, you consider this to be the base game, you can change it up even as you play within. If this is the only version you ever own, then you can still make it new and improved or greater as you go along by adding these extra cards into the deck. So, and then, like I said, get yourself some fancy dice while you're at it, because fancy dice are fun. All right, I think that's it. Now we got to learn how to play this game. So until that happens, go get gaming.